Hey folks, welcome back to the Trinity Episcopal Church YouTube Bible study. I'm Jimmy Abbott, the priest here at Trinity on Galveston Island, and today we're looking at the Gospel of Luke, chapter 4, verses 1 through 13. This is for the first Sunday in Lent, the temptation of Jesus in the wilderness. Makes perfect sense for the first Sunday in Lent as we think about our own fasting and self-denial over this period of 40 days. We'll hear about Jesus and his fasting and temptation in the wilderness. Let's look at just the first couple of verses here. Jesus, full of the Holy Spirit, returned from the Jordan and was led by the Spirit in the wilderness. Whoa, time out here. The Spirit is leading Jesus into the wilderness, and it says that he is full of the Holy Spirit. I know that seems kind of odd, like if you're full of the Holy Spirit, how could you be led into temptation? But personally, I know in my own spiritual life that some of the greatest moments of clarity in my spiritual life, some of my greatest joys, have always been followed closely by some of the greatest hardship and temptation. So just be aware of that in your own spiritual journey, that sometimes you'll hit that mountaintop and then like a sugar crash, you'll come straight back down. And I think that's a little bit of what's going on here. I also think this whole story, if you read it, it's an opportunity for Jesus to discover his own vocation of who he is as the Son of God and the Messiah. And that's essentially what the devil here is telling Jesus. It says, verse 3, the devil said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command the stone to become a loaf of bread." And then Jesus answered, "It is written, one does not live by bread alone." That word "if" can also mean since. Now that's a big difference, if and since. When the devil then says, "Since you are the Son of God," now think about that then. The devil knows who Jesus is. It's not like a sort of, the devil is trying to figure out who Jesus is. The devil knows full well Jesus' vocation as the Son of God, since you are the Son of God. So I think the real temptation here is that messing with Jesus' head. And I wonder too, in your own times of spiritual growth and development, when you are maybe discerning something, how has your head been messed with? How have you struggled with maybe those other voices telling you you're not good enough, you're not smart enough? If you really think you're such a good guy, how could you do such a terrible thing? You know, all of those inner voices that are just clamoring for our attention, I think they're rooted in this story. And so oftentimes when we tell ourselves those terrible things, it starts with that word since or if. Now, I'm not saying that what Jesus is experiencing here is just some sort of psychosis or maybe a mental illness or just some inner voices. I really do believe that there are demonic evil forces at work in the world that are trying to draw us from the love of God. I think we see that here too, that Jesus is being tempted to draw away from God the Father and to give away, to sacrifice his own vocation as the Son of God. So as you begin your own Lenten journey of fasting and self-denial and prayer, just know that as you go, you will hear some of those voices. Since you are such a good Christian, how could you be doing that? Perhaps. Or since you said that you were fasting during Lent, how was it that you're now eating that giant slice of chocolate tiramisu? Just be aware, be cognizant of all those voices that you will hear. And like Jesus, I pray that you have the strength filled with the Holy Spirit to make it through so that you come out of this wilderness time stronger, more prepared for the world. And then your Easter celebration will be that much brighter. I'd love to hear from all of you. Please know that you can subscribe and watch another video here on our YouTube channel. You can always drop a comment in the comment section, and you can join the conversation in our online classroom. Thank you all.